You're tuned into the hottest paranormal live show on YouTube, Into the Fringe, where we discuss lost civilizations, UFOs, cryptids, unsolved mysteries, megalithic structures, extraterrestrials, interdimensional portals, time skips, and more. Don't change that channel, because now you are leaving the mainstream and entering into the fringe.
Greetings, followers. It is I, Cardinal Sin, and I have the pleasure of having with me today my expert co-host, Mexican Iron Man.
You do? Where is he? Where's Mexican Iron Man? Because I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm Mexican Alien Man.
Alien Man. Sorry.
I know,
guess you haven't
been a
gotten
while.
those nanites out of your suit yet, huh?
It's been a while. It's been what now? 6 weeks since I've been here.
It has.
7 weeks since before tax deadline day. I think it was a week or two before tax deadline. Maybe 8 weeks. Maybe it's a 2-month absence.
I think that's the longest abduction known to man.
Well, it wasn't just an abduction. I want to keep it secret, but what with the recent pattern of disclosure, I kind of feel a need to let you know what's been there's something else that's happened.
Okay.
But I'm not sure because the report hasn't come out yet. So, well, okay. All right. While it's true that Mexican Iron Man, after being attacked by the Nanonites and his Mexican Adonis-type body had been transformed into this hideous alien creature-looking thing that you see underneath my helmet. By the way, your crack team of Indian techs in India is still working to reprogram the nanonites and the whatever the hell those things are, the micro nanonites, in order to
nanites.
To redo my DNA sequencing to make me Mexican again, but. But they're also working here. They installed this little button here on one of the mini nanonites that's now attached to my watch here. Hold on, let me just push the button. I'll now become not just Mexican Alien Man, but I'll
Southern Mexican Alien Man,
Southeastern Mexican Alien Man here, and Southeastern here, and I'm able. Well, let's just say it's the South because I am in South Carolina, and I'm able to now communicate with the local folk.
I've
down
been to
here.
South Carolina, and they don't talk like that.
Okay, you are ruining it right now. Okay, I know they don't, but this is my made up Look, you're the one programming the nanonites, so whatever the hell.
All right, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so let's just say this: after a brief abduction, where Mexican Iron Man was forced to do the, you know how I'm an expert in international tax.
Yes.
Okay, well, apparently some of these aliens here, the reptilians, thought that they needed to file tax returns because of how much time they've been on the planet.
The reptilians are the worst, man.
And they had me locked up in a room, and I had to do intergalactic foreigner tax returns to form 1040 NR for non-resident aliens. Ba-boom, bam, ha ha, get it? 1040 NR, non-resident aliens.
The core galaxy revenue they're really stricklers about that.
Yeah. So they had me. So the reptilians had me doing some intergalactic tax returns for a while. Yeah, and you can actually Google this. There's a form called 1040 NR. Gil.
Non-resident.
Yeah, and it's for non-resident aliens specifically. It actually says that on the form. It says 1040 NR non-resident aliens. So poor Mexican alien Iron Man was fighting the good fight. And then the third thing happened. Got a disclosure. I don't know if I should disclose this, but I'm gonna
too much disclosure.
It's too much disclosure. Where's what's his name? Where's Richard?
Stephen Bassett is coming up actually pretty soon, but not tonight.
No, where's Richard Dolan when we need him? Richard!
Where are you, Richard?
Okay, a third thing happened. So first we had Mexican alien man was abducted. Then we had I had to do the intergalactic tax returns for the non-resident alien reptilians.
And the
Then,
Beastie Boys weren't there. It wasn't like intergalactic planetary. It was just
yeah, there wasn't a Star Trek theme playing in the background for
Right.
Beyond the
Thank
Crap
God.
Hole. Yeah. So then the unthinkable happened. Well, I'm sure as you've seen, there's been a host of videos released in the last month. Yeah.
No.
No, you didn't see the swarm over the release of the video of the swarming ships that got released about a week or two ago. That video. Well, all of this stuff is happening, and there's increased activity. And poor Mexican alien Iron Man is up there flying, directing traffic like an interplanetary galactic schoolyard crosswalk guy.
You know how there was supposed to be a June 1st UFO deadline for them to dump all their UFO stuff?
Yes.
Guess what?
I'm the only one doing disclosure?
No joy. Yeah, you're the only one doing disclosure.
Well, let me tell you this much. Oh, sorry to chew on ice while I'm on air. Let me tell you this much. When you hold up the stop signs to some of these anti-gravity moving ships, they don't slow down.
No, they don't.
Okay, so poor Mexican Iron Man is up there in the air. You remember when we were in school and you had your cross guard and you wore the little reflective thingy, the jacket thingy, and the red and the thing. So I'm up there with my little reflective jacket, which reflects moonlight and sunlight, by the way. It's a dual purpose, of course, for safety purposes. And up there, and on one side, the sign says, stop. And the other side, the sign says, slow down. And then I have my other sign from my other hand that's green light, go. Look. I got them in English. I got them in Spanish. I even translated for the hieroglyphics in Egypt, okay? These mofos don't obey any safety driving laws up there with their anti-gravity, element 115, interplanetary.
Well, they don't have to, do they?
That, or I'm beginning to question it. Is this an issue because Mexican alien man is Mexican? Could there be a racial issue involved in terms of them not respecting
I think you're being profiled. Is that it?
You got to wonder. I mean,
because I would have privilege if I were up there.
Absolutely, because you have your my
Jewishness. I have Jewish
right.
privilege.
Yeah, and
which means if I'm late, it's okay.
Right. Anyway, so that's what. So poor Mexican alien man here. So he's he had additional nanonite work done. We're trying to fix that problem to bring back his Mexicanness. We may have to reprogram his southern genteel accent.
Well, I do want to quickly share something with everybody. This is the new graphic for Into the Fringe. I'm going to get myself out of my own way here.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
I can tell that you didn't use my body type for the model because that guy right there is like that's a thin size 32 right there, pant leg.
Yeah, and this was something that I got from GFX Sasha. That's at GFX Sasha on Twitter. So please, everyone, check her out for all your own awesome graphic needs. Isn't it beautiful?
It is freaking awesome.
Look at that. I mean, isn't that the coolest?
I'm digging it.
Yeah.
I'm digging
Way
it big
cool.
time.
It's the new Into the Fringe thing.
Yeah, well, I can tell you didn't use obviously that is another person who has had contact because that's not your body type either, buddy.
No. And it's obviously somebody that went to art school because it's it's not a little chicken scratch like mine might be. Anyway, I just thought that I would share that because
what's your name again? Or I'm sorry, who's the artist again?
It's now you ask me again.
Sorry about that. Hey, I'm gonna say hi to Orwell Nation. He's a Megalito. Hey, did you know that? You
know that Star Wars nerd is here.
Hey, old Star Wars nerd. Hail.
It's GFX Sasha, Graphic Sasha.
Okay.
And she is awesome.
All right.
And Orville Nation says, "Que pasa, Miguelito?"
Yes, he did indeed. I don't know if he's still in
What's
the chat.
up, little Mike? That's
hey,
what
that
means. What's up, little Mike?
That means Miguelito.
We have Sixes here and Orville Nation. The Stream Elements bot is here, but not the Stream Elements tip jar because it doesn't function. So if you should, for any reason, decide to tip me, you can use the PayPal link there on your screen, paypal.me/GilBavel. And if you want to buy me a coffee or give me $1 or say that I'm beautiful or whatever, that's where you can do it. So thanks very much. And hail back to Orville Nation. And we have all kinds of cool stuff going on.
All right.
So let's get into some news. What do you say?
I say we do. I am well versed on all subjects. I have been, as I've been sitting here in the new house waiting for. Oh, guess what?
What?
The 2 missing trailers that had all of Mexican Alien Man stuff from California finally showed up yesterday after being missing in a black hole vortex from the U-Haul shipping container people for the last 2 weeks.
Were they the same trailers that the 4 huge steers at Skinwalker Ranch were stuffed into?
No. Those are stationary and immobile. I think what was used. I think it was a government conspiracy. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. You are hearing it here on Into the Fringe first. That I believe that the same trailers used for UFO recovery were abscond Mexican Iron Man's alien techware, computers, and studio microphones.
And what makes you think that?
Because I think it's a cool story and it'll get me some clicks on YouTube and Twitter.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right, let's get to the news.
Okay.
It's all about disclosure. It's all about stuff. Oh, by the way, I have an idea and I'm calling it out. I'm going to call it out live on the air now.
Okay.
So I was streaming live with Doomcock and Cameron Paja or Paja.
No way.
Yeah, or something like that. Here's what happened. Or no, with Cameron Paja, and then I came off, and then Doomcock. I don't know. Somehow this happened, but basically it's like this: is that the two of them were talking about wanting to talk about UFO stuff. So I vote we invite both of them on a Thursday night, since obviously Exozone isn't happening. Because
I think that's great. I think that's a wonderful idea.
So if you approve me, I'm going to hit up Cameron. I got a cell number. I'm going to hit up Cameron. And if I get Cameron, then I'll hit up Doomcock. I was just chatting with him earlier on Twitter.
That would be super awesome.
So what do you think about that show?
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. Now, my job is I'll run security. You'll have to run the show. I'll run security because if word gets out that Cameron shows up and Doomcock is showing up, that means we could be under attack by lizard people.
Oh, yeah.
Reptilians.
Yep.
Obviously, they're going to send some gray drones out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then there's the tall grays, but there aren't that many of them. They're usually, I don't know. They seem kind of busy.
The tall grays are the ones that you want to really watch out for, and the tall whites. The tall whites will fucking kill your ass.
Look, I've been a short Mexican for a long time, and I'm telling you, I've been watching out for the tall whites for a long time. Get it? Boom, boom, bam. Oh, it's another joke. Man, oh, you didn't see that one coming. A little alien humor.
If I had a what are those things called? I don't remember. No, a soundboard. I could do the rim shot one, but
or a cowbell.
I don't think that people should have a rim shot or a rim shot. I don't think that people should have a soundboard on YouTube because I think that it takes up way too much time and people abuse it and all that kind of stuff. But hey, that's just me.
Well, it depends how quick on the draw you are, buddy.
Yeah, if you've got it ready or integrated or whatever, but clearly I don't.
Anyway, I'm distracting us from the news at hand. Let's get back to the news.
That's okay.
You're the host, and I'm here to be a guest, so you drive.
No, you are my expert co-host, sir.
Oh.
You are here until the end of time.
Oh, pickings have been slim at the co-host depot down the street, I see.
Well, yeah, they don't just, they don't go to super colleges and end up on my channel like you just can't go down to Home Depot and have them climb into the back of your truck.
You can't go down to Home Depot and pick up a Mexican alien man, but you can go down to Home Depot and pick up a Mexican man. I get it. It's another joke. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so there's been a lot of stuff in the news in terms of ufology. Wow, the report, but I had heard something. I thought I saw something that they said that they're rushing to make the June 30th deadline.
Yeah, so the big news is they had a deadline that was imposed by Congress or the GAO or whoever. June 1st, hard deadline. Give us your unclassified documents, not only to the Congress, but to the people.
Oh, my God.
Because we are the ones that pay their salaries. And I want to take a quick moment to acknowledge old Star Wars nerd says it would make a great t-shirt. I think that our new Into the Fringe design would make a great t-shirt. I'll have to talk to her about that. I think it's a great idea. In any case, so the word came out, let the word go out forth June 1st. So June 1st comes and goes like tumbleweeds on the prairie.
Or like an Element 115 powered anti-gravity craft zooming past Mexican alien man as he's trying to direct interplanetary galactic travel.
Well, see, but you would notice that the supposed dump of all this UFO information that was absolutely mandated that they had to have by June 1st didn't happen. And here's what happened instead. I'm gonna share because I feel like sharing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're getting more disclosure here at the Cardinal Sin channel than you're getting from the U.S. government. Go ahead.
That's right. So it says the long-awaited Pentagon UFO report could be released as soon as Tuesday. And if you look at the byline date, that's from June 1st. So it says the long-awaited Pentagon report on UFOs could be released as soon as Tuesday, as more videos showing unidentified objects, I think they mean UAP, that appear to defy the laws of gravity recorded by the U.S. military have recently surfaced. Those must have been the ones you were talking about.
They were.
Funds for the report were contained in the $2.3 trillion coronavirus relief plan signed by President Donald Trump in December. It started the clock ticking on a 180-day countdown for the U.S. intelligence agencies under the direction of the Director of National Intelligence. They're the ones that actually run the NRO secretly, to inform Congress what it knows about the existence of what it describes as unidentified aerial phenomena. See, I knew they were going to get UAP in there. The report is expected to include detailed analyses of data and intelligence about UFOs collected by the Office of Naval Intelligence, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, and the FBI. Senator Marco Rubio also asked for an unclassified copy of the report when he was the acting chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee last December. Now, that's an oxymoron if I've ever heard one. Okay, so in an interview with CBS News 60 Minutes last month, Rubio said the U.S. should take the reports of UFOs, quote, seriously, close quote. I want to take it seriously and have a process to take it seriously, Rubio said. I want us to have a process to analyze the data every time it comes in. That could be a place where this is cataloged and constantly analyzed until we get some answers. Maybe it has a very simple answer. Maybe it doesn't, he said. On the same broadcast, former Navy Lieutenant Ryan Graves said he and other members of his squadron encountered UFOs flying over restricted airspace southeast of Virginia Beach every day beginning in 2014. He said they are security threats. Quote, I am worried, frankly, if these were tactical jets from another country that were hanging out up there, it would be a massive issue, Graves said. But because it looks slightly different, we're not willing to actually look at the problem in the face. We're happy to just ignore the fact that these are out there watching us every day. John Ratcliffe, the Director of National Intelligence in the Trump administration, gave a preview of the government's report in an interview in March. There are a lot more sightings than have been made public.
Wait. Read that again. Go back slow and read that one more time.
John Ratcliffe, the Director of National Intelligence in the Trump administration, gave a preview of the government's report in an interview in March. Quote, there are a lot more sightings than have been made public, he told Fox News. Some of those have been declassified. And when we talk about sightings, we are talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots or have been picked up by satellite imagery that frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain. And here's the former director of naval intelligence, John Ratcliffe. Quote, movements that are hard to replicate, that we don't have the technology for, or traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom, he said. Lou Elizondo, they misspelled his name here, a former Pentagon official who ran the program to investigate the aerial phenomena, has told the Post he has seen videos of UFOs. It was a holy shit moment. Oh my gosh, it's real. Well, crap. Now we have to do something about it, he said, describing the moment he realized they were real. Elizondo, who ran the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program from 2010 to 2017, said he had access to Pentagon data on UFOs that shocked him. Okay, so coming back, I think, first of all, this doesn't tell us anything that we didn't already know.
Oh,
Second of all,
here's the part that I like. Okay, go ahead.
Second of all, again, they're talking about unidentified aerial phenomena as if they are a threat. If they were a threat, we would have been mowed down a long time ago, centuries ago. Okay? It's not a threat. And by calling it the ATIP program and calling it a threat, all they're doing is fear-mongering when people like Stephen Greer, for example, have said the people that are in charge of this entire cover-up are calling it a threat when the last thing that we need to be doing is approaching it as if it were a threat. Now, Mexican alien man, I don't know if you remember the last time that the United States government considered them a serious threat, but in 1952, they had orders to shoot them down. Do you remember that?
Of course. That
didn't go so well for Captain Mantell, did it?
No, in fact, that's a very specific story. Why don't you share that with the folks here? And then I've got a few little points I want to add, but go ahead.
So Captain Mantell,
piece of supporting evidence. Go ahead.
Captain Mantell was in a F-14 Tomcat. God, I don't remember. It was a very, very fast plane for the time. And his orders were to shoot them down. Mm-hmm. And he went up and up and up, and he kept going up. And they called him back, and he said, "No, I can see it. It's in my sights. I'm gonna lock on." He did not lock on, and he ended up crashing into a mountain. Mm-hmm. And they didn't find his plane for weeks, days. I don't even know how long it was. But the idea that we can, use our best technology, our fastest planes, to shoot them down while they're running circles literally around our fastest planes is not only a bad idea, but it's been done before to very deleterious effect.
Yes. Now, I'm curious, and I think it's hilarious. I have to point out something because I can't let you get away with this one. I just love how you cited Stephen Greer in your argument.
Well, I did.
Previously you told me that you
he's
think...
right. He's right. If they continue to call it a threat instead of just coming out and saying these things are flying around in our controlled airspace and we don't know what they are or whose they are, but they're not from here. They're not China. They're not Russia. We know that. And if they were, they would have attacked a long time ago and they would have flattened us.
No kidding.
And if they were aliens or AI or whatever, I don't know what they are. Nobody knows what they are or what they want or why they're here.
Now I'm going to go a step.
They would have flattened us a long time ago. And so Stephen Greer has that right.
He has that right because he has a lot of things right.
He has at least that right.
Bite that tongue, sir.
I said he has at least that right.
I'm watching you.
I do want to say howdy to Red Walrus TM NC52 and to Orville Nation and to our new friend Galgo 13, aka Brandon the Infinite Wolf.
That's my brother. That's my brother.
Right on, man. Thanks for being here.
That's my Uber boy.
Good to see you.
Now, I'm going to share a couple of things that go along with this argument here about the threat and all of this stuff here. Let me share something here on my screen here. Hold on, please, sir. Stand by, sir.
Standing by.
Let's see here. Activity.
Standing by.
Let's see. Will it let me share? Hold on, let me copy this. Move this over. Because as you're aware, Mexican Iron Man / Alien Man has had many interactions with these foreign agents, as we will call them.
That's right. The ones that end up at the Foreign Technology Division in Dayton.
Yeah. Wait, what?
In Dayton, Ohio, where they have the Foreign Technology Division.
Well, I've kind of run into
nudge, the Foreign Technology Division.
Okay. Well, I usually run into them at the border.
Oh, okay.
Get it? I run into the aliens at
Taco Bell, right?
The border, because I'm a lot funnier than you guys online give me credit for. All right, hold on. Here we go. Let me share the screen here. I don't care. You know what? I don't care what you guys say. You and Loki and those other guys. Hold on.
Hey, man, please don't group me in with Loki. I have a sense of humor.
No. Are you talking smackola?
No, I'm just saying I have a sense of humor.
Loki is hilarious. I love Loki.
Loki has a great sense of humor.
Okay, are you aware of Stephen Quayle?
No, please do tell.
You don't know who Stephen Quayle is?
Not by name.
No. Seriously?
I told you, dude, I have memory issues. Go.
Oh, that's funny. You know what, bro? You know what I love about you? Like you have a commanding knowledge of all kinds of stuff, but when it's convenient, all of a sudden you got
stuff that happened like before I had an injury to my memory. I remember. Long-term memory is good.
Well, you just met me the other day.
Short-term memory isn't so good.
You just met me the other day, and my name's Mike. All right, bring my share screen up.
Okay, there it is.
Okay, here we go.
You want me to full screen it?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So Steve Quayle is a researcher on May 25th on Coast to Coast. He was on the show May 25th.
Oh, Steve Quayle. I thought it was
said
like
Steve Quayle.
Quail.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
No, what, like a bird? No. So anyway, so he was on Coast to Coast on the 25th of May, and I encourage everybody to check out his website. Go to Coast to Coast, listen to the show. Now, they have been doing, there's been a 10-year longitudinal study to collect items in Mexico. Basically, these guys have said, we give up trying to wait for disclosure. We give up trying to uncover evidence of great mysteries in the United States. There's just too much. So what they've done now is that for 10 years, there's been like a longitudinal effort and an intense effort the last 18 months where he has employed and deployed native Spanish-speaking staff to go out and find a variety of things. Now, what you're going to find here are very old items here that prove your point, sir. These are photos that show a variety of alien symbols and glyphs that date back hundreds, even thousands of years. Now, these are actual.
Are these look at from Maya? Are these the Maya ones?
And Aztec as well. See, this one right here.
My Mesoamerican history is not so good.
Well, that's why you have me. Let me lead and you follow. Okay. So this one right here is an Aztec artifact appearing. It says here the caption. It depicts human contact with alien craft. See that? There's your Aztec guy. See, Aztec alien craft.
Oh yeah, that's unmistakable. And there's another one over there. Yeah.
And here's our pyramid. You see this? Here's our pyramid.
Yep, there's a ziggurat. Yep.
And then look what we have up here.
There's another
alien craft. There's another alien craft, right?
And of course, the skeptics and the debunkers will say they're bells.
Bells don't fly,
or they're shields or something. I don't know.
Why would they be way up in the air?
They didn't even have metal.
Exactly. What are these debunkers talking about? They're morons. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
And let me just say something about Mexican people, aka /Aztec/Tech Mayan.
Mesoamericans.
We don't do shit that we don't have to do if we don't want to do it. I'm just saying. Right. I mean, trust me. I mean, don't get me wrong. The lettuce, tomato, and the tortillas are not going to pick themselves. We got to go out there. Anyway. All right, look at this one right here. An alien in a spacecraft.
Okay, wait, which one?
Hold on.
Wait a second.
Do you not see it?
Alien in a spacecraft.
Here, hold on.
Oh yeah, I see some. Yeah, okay. I think I see what you're talking about.
Oh wait a minute, hold on. I think there's something wrong with my.
I was gonna say, is it a different picture?
Oh, it's a different picture. Let me share the different picture.
Okay.
Hold on, buddy.
All right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me stop the share, and let me go back in. Hold on. Stop. Okay, let me go back and share it again.
And next time, if you would click off that like coast to coast thing, that would be cool.
Well, I don't know how to do all that shit. I'm trying.
Just click the off thing. And by the way, everybody, I apologize. Christopher O'Brien is not here. He is studying with Ray Stanford, who discovered a new dinosaur in a piece of stone that 50 paleontologists walked over 3 times a day, every day, that has 100 dinosaur tracks in it. And he just got his certification for this the other day. So Chris is down with Ray, and there's like a documentary, team down there documenting. So,
right, share my screen. All right, here we go.
Share my screen.
All right, here's the second one. Look at this guy right here.
That's pretty unmistakably dude in a spaceship.
Right.
And an alien at that. Wow, look at those jade eyes. Those big jade green eyes.
Yep. Now, this is something obviously that an indigenous
Where
person,
the heck did this come from?
This was found in the Oaxaca area in deep south more in the Mayan region.
Wow.
Yeah, that one right there. Look at this one here coming up. Now, here's a third one. Look at this one.
Now, I know that there were in Mesoamerica, there were races that elongated their heads artificially, like from birth. So that's what the skeptics are going to say about that one.
Yeah, this isn't any of that because this isn't any of that.
No, because their eyes don't look like that.
No, especially when you get in here, when you look at their depictions of themselves.
Sure, those are normal.
Right.
Except if you go back up to that one there, at the very middle, I see a guy with a black eye inside that just to the left of where your cursor is. Right there. That guy, he's got kind of an alien looking eye. But
right. Well,
he's just a regular dude.
I don't know about that.
He could be a Mexican alien, man.
No, I'm the first one. And don't take that. What I'm trying to tell you is that this is interaction of the two. So you see, here's a regular person, and here's an alien person. So what this glyph shows is this is showing several things. This is showing interaction between alien peoples and the indigenous peoples.
This has been happening for a very long time.
So so here's your alien person here, here's your local person here, and they're cooperatively working together. The idea here is that what they believe, those that discovered this, is they believe that this is a further evidence of what many call the ancient alien hypothesis, where many things that became staples of human existence, such as farming, agriculture, taming of various civilization, pottery, that type of thing, building of pyramids, that this could also be depicting, how the pyramids were made, how are stones made. This here's
because they said the sky people taught us.
Exactly. So this shows what basically this does is this shows, to me, this is incredibly powerful evidence. I mean, to me, this is the equivalent of a terabyte hard drive released by the Department of Defense or, intelligence agency that says what it is. I mean, this is basically the equivalent of what, I mean, why else would someone sit down and put this together randomly?
Definitely sort of gives a lot more credence to Chariots of the Gods, doesn't it?
Very much so. And it sure as hell doesn't have this isn't, you can't have the skeptics where they say, oh, well, they're religious zealots from Christianity. I don't see any crosses here.
No.
I don't see any angels flying or any cherubs.
Nope.
I don't see any female angels with wings. Because trust me, if there were female angels with wings flying, Mexican
they're in full headdress and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Let's go down, and now here's another one.
This one is very interesting to me.
Yeah, you should see the other photos on Mr. Quayle's website.
Very interesting to me because, don't get me wrong, but this almost looks like it's been hoaxed because it's so close to what
Everything that you
people
see
describe.
everything on Quayle's website has been carbon dated by.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that I think it's hoaxed. I'm saying it almost looks like it's hoaxed because it's so close to what people are reporting, with abductions, with grays. It's just unreal.
That's correct. Now here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
One of the shows that we talked about, I can't remember which guest it was, but we talked about I should remember which guest it was. One of the guests, you and I were both on the show, and we talked about sort of the phases of UFO sightings, how in the 30s and 40s, they kind of were said to look one way, and then the 50s and 60s, flying saucers. More recently, we have the flying triangles. And so the idea being that all of that gives credence that the whole black triangle phenomenon is a mere recent phenomenon, and it is definitely Earth-based, and it's definitely Earth ships.
It's the alien reproduction vehicle. Yeah,
exactly. Now, why would this have been made 800 years ago?
Maybe not.
Maybe not, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well,
doesn't that look like something you've heard about before?
It looks exactly like it. If you think about what that would look like in the dark, if the things on the ends of the each of the facets of the triangle were lights, and the very middle thing was a big red light, it would look exactly like what they saw in Belgium.
Exactly. Anyway,
good find.
Anyways, and there's and they go
alien
on and on.
Skull. Oh my goodness!
Check out this one.
Wow, that makes Indiana Jones 4 look a little bit better.
Yeah,
I'm not so excited about Indiana Jones 5 though.
Yeah. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to give further credence to I'm very excited about Mr. Quayle because I think of all the books that he's put out, which have been amazing. What he's about to put out now is just unbelievable. So go check out his website. His last name is spelled Quayle.
If you want, while you're there, go ahead and type it in, and if you know his website address, go ahead and type it in, and let's go check out more of his stuff.
Sure. All right. I'm gonna have to stop the share and then redo it. Okay. So hold on.
That's cool.
Let me do it right there. Wait. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me go do that. I'll be right back.
And by the way, even though Christopher O'Brien isn't here, there will be a giveaway at the end of the show. In fact, there could be more than one. I happen to have in my possession a copy of James Fox's Out of the Blue movie, and it's the 5th anniversary edition, which has 2 DVDs, one with the film and one that's packed with special features and interviews. So make sure and be here by the end of the show because you could be a lucky winner of that documentary. Out of the Blue is probably in the top 5 UFO documentaries, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Are you kidding?
James Fox is amazing.
In fact, I would say James Fox's movies are all the top 5.
Mm-hmm. Phenomenon. I know what I saw. Yeah, Out of the Blue.
Remember when I Know What I Saw came out? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that crazy?
It was a big deal. And Phenomenon, which was written by Tracy Torme, by the way. My friend Tracy Torme. It was supposed to go into theaters across the country. They had a distribution deal and everything, 5,000 screens. And then, the pandemic hit. So that's why they released it the way that they did. But that's not going to slow, either of them down. James Fox is going to just keep pushing and pushing, just like everybody else, until, like it said in the article, until they start taking this seriously.
Right.
I mean, did you see in one of those documentaries? It was either Out of the Blue or I Know What I Saw, when they went to France and he was speaking fluent French and asking people in France about UFOs and that kind of thing, and what they
Wait,
thought
say that
about
again?
UFO reality. He was in France with his
Right.
dad, and he speaks fluent French. And in one of those two films, I don't remember which one it was, they were in France, I think it was Paris, and they were asking French people about UFO reality and what they thought about it. You remember that?
Yes.
That was like way cool. I mean, it gives you a totally different perspective than this total clamp down, of information in the United States where, if you've ever gotten the UFO news clipping service, you'll get articles from all over the country, local, or regional articles that are on 24 pages, double sided, and if it gets to the national wire level, it's shut down. It's amazing. When you subscribe to the UFO news clipping service, I don't even know if it's still around, but I used to subscribe to it. They would send you a packet every month filled with 24 pages of local and regional articles, sometimes by fairly big newspapers, but they never reached the national wire. I wonder why that is.
Why is that, sir?
That's because it gets shut down at the national wire.
And
That's
why is that?
There's a clamp down on UFO information. There is a cover up, and the reason that I mentioned what Stephen Greer said, what Dr. Stephen Greer said about them, trying to roll this out as a threat, because they're going through controlled airspace. What's the word that I'm looking for? Not controlled. Airspace that you're not supposed to fly through. Thank you. Restricted airspace. And there's nothing they can do about it. By the time that, if you look at the Washington merry-go-round from 1952, when UFOs flew over the Capitol, there's movie footage of fleets of UFOs flying over the Capitol building in 1952. People say, well, if there's UFOs and aliens, well, why don't they land on the White House lawn? Well, they very nearly did in 1952. They flew all over Washington, D.C., and they came back every weekend for 3 weeks. And there was nothing we could do about it. They were completely, when we sent our fastest planes out after them, they left. They played cat and mouse with the Air Force, and then they did all the stuff with Malmstrom Air Force Base, where they showed up and hovered for 40 minutes, shot beams into the nuclear storage areas, the nuclear weapon storage areas, shut off all the missiles in an 18-mile range, 10 nuclear missiles. There's nothing we can do about it. It's not a threat. If they wanted to be threatening, we'd all be dead. There's nothing threatening about it. So they need to stop talking about it as if it's a threat. And that's why I bring up what Dr. Stephen Greer said. He makes a very good point. If we continue to regard whatever this issue is as a threat, first of all, we're looking through the wrong binoculars. We're looking at this as if it's an orange when it's really an apple, if you'll forgive the really poor metaphor.
Well, hey, listen, so it's just StephenQuayle.com. All the photos aren't up there listed. It says they're coming out once the catalog is done.
Oh, okay.
So, but basically, I think I just wanted to mention this factoid that I forgot to mention earlier, that they've compiled what they're calling a digital glyptionary, and they have over those pictures I showed you, there's over 500,000 artifacts that are going to be categorized, photographed, and presented. 500,000.
Finally, a database that everybody can look at.
Exactly.
That's been one of the big problems.
It's going to be, and there was recently published also, this was also on the Coast to Coast show a couple months ago, but, I can't remember her name. We can talk, I can get this together for next week's show. But she put together was it a fellow or a gal? I can't remember who did this, but a comprehensive database of all sightings without prejudice. at all. So they could be trying.
Well, actually, I have something to say about that.
Go ahead.
I'm not real happy that the only place that you used to be able to report a sighting, New Fork, the National UFO Reporting Center, which was run by Steve Davenport, was sold to Bigelow Aerospace. So everybody,
it was?
yeah.
When the hell did that happen?
Months and months ago, maybe even as much as a year ago or more.
Oh my God, I did not know that. How did I not know that?
Everybody that reported their sighting, their name, everything about their sighting is now in the hands of Bob Bigelow. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that anything bad is going to happen, but I really think that there needs to be an open source database. And I'm going to go ahead and go so far as to say that I agree with Greg Bishop on this, that I think that there needs to be an open source database of UFO sightings that anybody can go through, and sort of like Wikipedia, except that once entries are made, you can't edit them. Once someone says, hey, this is what I saw on such and such a night at this time, under these conditions, blah, blah, blah. I think that everybody should be able to go on the internet and go online and look.
Well, then you know what we should do? It sounds, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Mexican Alien Man is going to put together with Cardinal Sin the first ever Cardinal Sin Facebook style Twitter alien live database. We're going to do it ourselves.
Okay.
You know what we'll do? We'll call it Only Alien Fans.
All right.
We'll get an OnlyFans page, but it'll be nothing but alien stuff.
$20 a month, and you can surf through all the alien porn you want.
Hey, whoa, buddy. Whoa.
Maybe I got the wrong idea.
Yeah, no. What's the matter with you?
Alien OnlyFans.
OnlyFans Alien Edition. And you know what? Who we need to bring in as a collaborative partner on this? We need to bring in Orville Nation. They have relationships with technology and key figures, arts, entertainment, and Interplanetary Galactic. I know that guy is hooked up. That Orville Nation guy. I know he's got sources in high places. That guy.
Actually, you know how he does it. He told me how he does it.
How's he do it?
I'll tell you exactly how he does it.
Is it his smooth radio voice?
He asks. He says, we're going to do this for the entire month or the entire however long. And the person that's involved says, okay, well, then I'll be there. If you're going to do it, for 6 months or 4 months or whatever, then I'll be there. What a great way. It's not even asking. It's just saying, hey, I'm going to do this, and waiting for the other party to respond. It's brilliant. Orville Nation. PJ is one of the smartest people I've ever met.
And this guy speaks Spanish. We're gonna cut him in. The Orville Nation guy. We're gonna cut him in for like a percentage. We're gonna give him some points. This guy.
Because what he would do. Let's say for William Shatner, he would say, "We're gonna do every Tuesday on Orville Nation. We're gonna do Sunday. We're gonna do William Shatner Sundays." Every Sunday for the next 18 months. And William Shatner would probably go, well, I should probably be there for that. Or rather, he would say, I should be there for that.
It's an impossible invitation not to accept.
Spock,
I have to be there.
Could I possibly turn it down? Yeah, so...
Yeah. That Orville Nation guy.
He does it through ingenuity and hard work.
Yeah,
that's how he does it. It's nothing special. It's nothing magic. It's just ingenuity and hard work.
Yeah.
And so I salute PJ from Orville Nation because he knows how to get the job done. All right. Now, speaking of, let's go ahead and have a look here. I have an interesting statistic. I would like to.
What percentage of Mexicans get abducted by aliens? I'll bet no one cares.
Actually, it's kind of interesting that you would mention that.
Oh, what?
So
More
UFO
than me?
sightings are taking off again. Global UFO sightings recorded from 1990 to 2020. Now, this is courtesy
Wait a minute. That looks like my Bitcoin portfolio.
Yeah, I know it does. This is from the National UFO Reporting Center, the one that Peter Davenport just sold to Bigelow Aerospace.
Wow. Peter sold it to Bigelow?
He did.
I'm still floored, bro. I mean,
I know. It's crazy.
Oh, I think I need some
coffee.
coffee.
Check this out. The highest sightings recorded, was about 2012, right here, about 8,736. A month, I'm guessing.
Well, that was for the year.
No, I think that's for the month, because they're going 2010, 2020. So there are definitely some months in between here. These this could be years.
No,
yeah, that's probably a year.
They're years. I've seen this chart. I see the different version of this chart.
So then it went way down because everybody was in, lockdown, and now it's back up to almost the same, 7267.
Right.
So what does that tell you?
Well, that tells me that in 2012, when alien sightings were high, that's the same year I met my ex, and she's definitely freaking a wacko alien. So
is she a reptoid?
She is absolutely a freaking reptilian. She doesn't look like it. She looks like a smoking hot dancer, but yeah, she's a freaking reptilian. She maxed out my Amex Black card. Oh, it was horrible.
Now, while we're here, let's take a look at some photographs.
So sightings are up as things have loosened. No, wait a minute. Hold on. In 2020, they're up. So they're up because people were at home with the COVID and they have time to look up in the sky.
No, that's because people were inside and they didn't look up. Now people are going outside. Well, yes, essentially what you're saying is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
people were locked down. So they were look at that. What is that?
This is a flying saucer.
Which photo is this? Why don't I recognize
this? This is a photograph of a flying saucer. This is one I haven't seen either. I think it's probably from South America. Okay. Because they have a lot of sightings down there.
A shitload.
They do have a metric shit ton.
As we say in Spanish, tenemos un cheatload. Cheatload.
Un cheatload, yeah.
Yeah, un load de cheat.
Okay, now take a look at this saucer. Okay? It looks so good. It looks like a hoax, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for one problem.
You can see the edges. You can see the dome on the top. You can see the sun glinting off of this side here. Okay. Right here.
Yeah.
You see the little circular things. This is just like what you'd see in the Jetsons or something.
Dude, this thing is so close. First of all, this thing must be here. Look at the size of the road. Okay, look at the road.
It's got to be huge.
This thing's got to be massively huge because look at the road. So just imagine. So let's say you're Mexican and you're driving your 1972 Chevy Impala.
Let's say you're Mexican. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you're Mexican and you're driving you said it's in South America, bro. So let's say I'm on the road.
And it's probably more like you're driving like a 1946 Chevy Impala because I think this was in the 50s.
Okay, let's go with the Studebaker. Can we agree on a Studebaker?
Sure.
Okay, fine.
Or maybe a Model A Ford.
Oh my God, fighting you on these shows is just impossible. All right, so let's say you're Mexican and look like small models, pictures under forced perspective. That's what I'm saying live at the Love Shack. That's what I'm saying. All right, anyways.
Yep, it does.
I'm saying that's what I'm with. Okay, so let me finish. All right, so let's just say for shits and giggles here that I'm Mexican and I'm driving my Studebaker here in 1956. Okay. And I'm down on that road. And so that Studebaker's a big car, and that's a 2-lane highway. Now look up at the sky. Look how effing big that mother effing looks.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It looks huge.
It is huge.
So, I don't know, man.
Okay, now check this out.
I don't know.
Check this out.
I think I'm going to be with live at the Love Shack here that to me, it looks like, hold on, I'm going to quote him. Why do a lot of UFO pictures look, quote, small models pictured under a forced perspective. Yes, thank you. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. Why?
Dude, that thing would have to be, okay, let's just say.
Oh, I thought there was a punchline. I'm sorry. Hey, Captain Trek. Hello. How are you doing? Hail, Captain Trek.
Okay, let me see the next photo.
Okay, so I am wanting to show you this next photo because
I'm going to lose my mind when you do.
you're going to lose your mind. And
this is happening live, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't see any of this in the pre-production meeting.
This photo,
not that we had one, but
that I'm about to show you, this photo is from 1951 in Riverside, California.
Wait a minute. That's down the street from where Mom lives. Hold on.
Look at that saucer right there. That's in Riverside, California in 1951.
Wait a minute. Those are the foothills near Mom's house. Wait a minute.
Do you see the similarities?
I see the similarities between that and my ancient alien glyphs from the beginning of the show.
No, I'm talking about the one from the photo I just showed you.
Oh, my God. I do.
Okay. Now, I'm going to back out. Okay.
Okay.
Now, look at how big that is.
I think we need to hire Live at the Love Shack to do an empirical analysis here.
I think you're probably right.
Do we have what do we have in the budget? Like $5 probably. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Now, this is from 1954 in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, I've seen this one before.
This is a very interesting photograph.
Blow it up some more. I've seen this one before.
You want me to blow it up some more?
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. All right, okay. There's your Studebakers in your
You got it. You got it.
There's the Studebakers on the bottom.
1954 Salem, Massachusetts.
Now, why couldn't those be wait, what year was that?
1954.
Okay, I was gonna say F-18 Strike Eagles, but that wouldn't work in 1954.
Yeah. So here we have 4 UAP in formation. Okay. And they look, they're obvious. The photo is obviously being taken with a pretty fast shutter speed. The person isn't whipping around or anything like that. The only thing that's kind of got a little motion blur is this thing over here, over to the left on the top. Everything else is crisp and crystal clear. Okay. Except for these. And you know who looked at these and said, this is genuine?
So you're saying this is pre-Adobe Photoshop?
A little, yeah.
What if Mexican alien man went back in time with Adobe Photoshop and made these photos?
Well,
I
think the time machine would probably be more interesting than the Photoshop. But optical physicist, the guy, I don't remember his name, declared that these were real back in the 70s because the aperture and the focal length and all that kind of stuff was exactly correct. And it couldn't have been, it's not a double exposure. It couldn't have been faked. Mm-hmm. And this is back when you couldn't fake these kind of photos.
How do we know that Orville Nation didn't use his contacts and go back in time and these are some kind of Orville alien craft?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask him.
All right.
Culture Casino.
I'm having a hard time being a skeptic here.
Hail Culture Casino.
Hail Culture Casino.
How cool is that? Hail, indeed.
I tried the Photoshop, but they didn't have Photoshop in 1956 when they had Studebakers. They did have Studebakers, though.
Actually, when I worked at the Paracast, I worked with David Biedny, who worked on the very first edition of Photoshop. And he at least considered himself an expert when it came to looking at UFO photos and being able to tell whether they were, real or hoaxed. And certainly when it came to the modern day, the stuff in the modern day, I think he was right.
All right. You have any more of these?
Nope, that's all.
All right.
But as I click out of these, I want you to take a look at the similarity between these two because something's going on there.
Well, that's right by my mom's house. Like we live in Riverside, San Bernardino. I mean, we live right there on the border of Riverside and San Bernardino.
No way.
Yeah, and that hill range is like
you know the hill.
Dude, there's only one hill range by San Bernardino and Riverside. It runs up against the freeway. There's only one.
I've never been to California. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why when I was talking to Mr. Bosley was it last month or the month before?
By the way, Galgo13, aka Brandon the Infinite Wolf, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it.
Hail, go! He's going to come visit me this summer when he visits his grandma in Texas. I told him to come out to South Carolina. We're going to hang out. We're going to go shooting, and I told him we'd go hunting with our ARs, and we're going to go bow weevil hunting.
With your BAR?
With my AR, we're going to go bow weevil hunting.
Boll weevil hunting. We're going to go snipe hunting.
I don't know what a boll weevil is, but this sounds southern.
A little boll weevil.
Well, basically, I think the thesis is this.
Okay, live at the Love Shack, yes. An unidentified flying object can be anything that's in the sky that we can't identify. We're not saying that they're alien spacecraft, okay? However, if you can't tell what something in a photograph is, and you get a good look at it, and you're like, you know, you take it to the optical physicist and he says, this passes. It's not a hoax. It's not on a string. You know, back in the day, back in the 50s, they used to take a 30 times magnifying glass and put it up to these photos. And you could see in ultraviolet light, you could see the string, you know, coming down. When you see these things banking like that, that's actually how they propel. That's their form of movement. They move that way. When you see a flying saucer like this, it's coasting. When they are under like a field propulsion, they move sideways like that.
Although
that's what that falling leaf motion is that people talk about.
I want to re-echo what Live at the Love Shack is saying in that sense that, yeah, there's unidentified aerial phenomena. There's unidentified flying off, you know, UFOs, whatever. Okay. But then even me, when I'm flying up in the air, you know, some people say, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a flying Mexican with an arc reactor made from a tortilla warmer.
And people don't take this show seriously.
I mean, if that's not an unidentified aerial phenomenon, wait, did you say people don't take the show seriously?
And people don't take, and I don't know why.
And no, we talk about serious stuff. We just had a little humor angle to it. You know, that's right. We got to have the humor angle to it. You know, something happened to me on a flight. I've been meaning, and I was going to bring it up on a past show, but
please tell. Do tell.
So I had the weirdest conversation with a retired Navy captain. Okay. Now I can't remember. I know that he served in the Atlantic Fleet somewhere. I can't remember which ship. It was the weirdest thing. So this is on a flight. That wasn't a long flight. We're flying from Ontario Airport into San Jose Airport.
Right.
And he looked over and he saw that I was reading. I can't remember what I was reading. It was on my tablet. I think I had Coast to Coast open and I was reading an article related to
your Coast to Coast, man. I don't know.
Dude, you know what? You know what it is I can't handle George Norrie, so I've been going through the Art Bell archives, okay?
I can't handle George Norrie either.
So shoot me, okay? Wait, you think I'm watching like this stuff on like, you know, which minerals and herbs to eat that George Norrie's doing? No, bro. I'm going through the freaking Art Bell archive, okay?
Okay, all right.
Calm down. Leave me alone. Let me finish my story. So I'm on the airplane, right? And this guy's next to me, and I have an extra drink coupon. And so the plane's like damn near empty as shit, right? I mean, there's like 15 of us on this whole thing, right? So this is during the COVID before shit relaxed a little bit, but the airports were open. So this is about 3 months ago, something like that, 2 months ago, something like that. Anyway, so he sees what I'm reading. I reached over to him. I said, "Hey, you want a drink? I'll get you a drink." And I had an extra drink coupon. So he ordered whatever the hell he ordered, you know, scotch. And
old fashioned or
yeah, something like that. I got to do it. Well, they're not mixing old fashions on the plane, but you know, scotch and rocks, whatever. And so he says, "So you're interested in that phenomena stuff, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I sure am." I said, "I just, you know, I said."
No, wait a minute. Wait, a Mexican is on a plane, and he's buying a drink for who?
The guy's next to me. So I have 2 drink coupons from Southwest.
Are you in first class or something?
No, I'm on Southwest. But when you buy business class seating on Southwest, you get a
business
drink
class. Okay,
you're in business class. So
gotcha.
I had a drink coupon. I already had a drink coupon, and when I checked in, they gave me another printout for another one. So I had 2 of them. Okay. So God almighty. What am I getting fucking audited here? What the hell? The fuck?
I'm just trying to interject a little comedy,
Jesus
man. That's
Christ.
all.
Howard Stern meets Alien Adventures here at the Cardinal Sin
said,
Network.
you know, a little funny,
Anyways, boom,
little
bam.
UFO news, little funny. Anyway, you're saying.
Okay, anyway, so let me get back to it. So the guy says, well, you know, I was a captain in the Navy, and I said, oh wow, that's amazing. And I said, yeah, I was just watching a show about these crazy things flying over ships and crafts and stuff like that, and you know how the Navy doesn't know what they are and stuff like that. And then he looked down and he looked away to the left, and he had a drink. And that was it, right? So then another 15, 20 minutes go by, right?
You know what it means when they look down and they look to the left, right?
I don't know. He looked outside the window. All right. So he looked away from me. Okay. He looked out to the window, right? So he looked out to the window. Yeah. So, you know, so he's next to me on the opposite aisle. We're both on the aisle. And that's about 15, 20 minutes later. And I tell the stewardess, I go up to go to the bathroom. I said,
Excuse me. Hey, Canadian Spider-Man.
Oh my God. The co-founder and co-chairman of NABU, the North American B-level, underappreciated, and definitely underfunded and underpaid backup Avenger team. Hail Backup Avengers, which consists of
Canadian Spider-Man.
Canadian Spider-Man, Mexican Iron Man. Basically, we're called into action when the regular crew...
They're off-world and, yeah.
Well, we've actually never gotten a call, but now that I think about that...
Well, I'm very glad to see my good friend, Canadian Spider-Man here.
I don't know if we're so much the minor league Avengers as we're like maybe like the T-ball level Avengers. Well, anyway, I digress.
For some reason, people have a problem with my chair, and I have to keep telling people I'm a drummer. I've been a professional musician for, at this point, 35 years. So I don't need all the stuff that you see with other like gamers or whatever. I just need a chair that has a center of gravity, because I'm used to having all of my limbs do different things. You cut your body into quadrants. You have your arms do one thing and your legs doing different things, and then even then you cut it again and you have your left and your right sides, your top and your bottom, plus then you've got your vocals, and then you've got turning your mic off and back. So
okay, next time we do a show, can you wear pants?
Sure.
Okay, but I'm just kidding.
These are pants. They're just short pants.
I was kidding. Yeah. You're a professional drummer. People don't know that. You don't need, but you're also an advanced form of life. Can I finish my story now? Anyway, so please. I send back a double drink to the other guy and me. She delivers them.
Ivan Ivanovich.
Oh my God. I'm not finishing my story now.
Please continue.
Nope. I was interrupted the third time. I'm done. You're going to have to tune in for another show.
That was only the second time.
Nope. I'm done. Nope. Moving on. Next topic.
Was a captain. The guy was a captain in the Navy or the Air Force?
Next topic.
Did you say he was a captain in the Navy or the Air Force?
Next topic.
Uh-oh. Now he's left me altogether. Although I think it was probably unintentional. However, we will take that opportunity. Oh, rats, he's back. There you are.
Oh, I could leave again.
No, that's all right. I would like you to finish your story, though.
I don't think so, but okay.
I was just saying hello to the people in the chat. It's part of my job.
I don't remember how it ended up.
I'll leave you alone, and I'll let you finish.
I don't remember my stuff.
I'll let you finish your story.
All right, fine. Stop talking. I'm going to mute you. Anyways, so one more. So he says to me, God, I only have 30 more seconds of the story. So he says to me after having the next drink, now we're about to land and they're collecting all the cups and shit. And he says to me, look, I can't say much, but let me tell you this. There's some pretty advanced stuff out there. And some of the guys on the boats don't even know how advanced it is. And I said, what are you talking about, sir? And I told him the story of how my dad served, was on a carrier. He served as a Marine on a deployment force a few decades ago. And we're both a little bit, I can tell he's a little tipsy, I'm a little tipsy. And he says, let's just say this. We have some things that are 60 to 80 years ahead of what you can even imagine today. And I said, sir, what does that mean exactly? He said, just that. 60 to 80 years of what you think what you think we've got stuff 60, 80 years ahead of what you think we might got.
Wow.
And that is a true story. I'm not making this up. I turned around, look, I said, well, sir, thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. He says, yeah, keep doing your reading. Like almost facetiously joking. It was kind of like, you keep reading about that history and the speculation, boy.
Yeah.
You know? But it was okay. He was a great guy, and I thanked him for his service. Incredibly well decorated. When he stood up, he was dressed in casuals. I mean, he's retired, right? He'd been retired for 3 years. Older guy. And when he put on his jacket, he had like what? Have you ever seen one of those like Navy jackets where it has all their stuff? You know, their
medals,
the ribbon,
pins.
Yeah, the ribbon shit and all that stuff. I looked at it,
like on Stargate.
I was like, holy shit! And I can't remember the name of the ship, the last ship he was deployed on, because he had that on there. But yeah, that was the freakiest thing ever. He said it twice, 60 to 80 years, and I'm just like,
because I remember
tell
hearing
that story
in the 80s
because Shaq was making a comment. Go ahead.
In the 80s, I remember hearing they were 20 years ahead of what they were feeding the military, the subcontractors. So this is like, wow.
Yeah.
It's a whole different
the Love
deal.
Shack makes a great point. If you can highlight, like an SR-71 around the same time, the most advanced public plane was a U-2.
That's true. Never mind the X-15.
And by the way, Gil, just a heads up. I've only got about another 15 minutes. I got to be off by 9:30.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
okay, then let's take advantage of this time. We were on a show previously, months ago. I don't remember when, and there was a personal experience that I asked you to relate, and you said it would take too long. So since we have 15 minutes.
Oh, no, it's not that it would take too long. It's that I didn't want to go into it because I wasn't in the right mental space because I was in tax season.
Oh, okay. Well, now that you're not, please tell us about your personal experience.
Oh, shit. I'm being ambushed, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man, it's live on the air. What are you going to do?
All right, here we go. Okay, so those people who know me pretty well. Know, a lot of times I get invited to go camping or hiking or shit like that, right?
Never be last in line.
Well, I don't know about all that stuff, but I'm just saying I've been getting invitations for that kind of stuff for about 20 some odd years, and I'm not a spring chicken. And the way I get out of it is I jokingly say I just don't like it. I'm not interested in it. People say, oh, you want the great outdoors and this and this. And by the way, there are two stories that I have. One of them I already did on air. This is the second one. This one's a little bit was more personal and much more intense. So try not to interrupt me when I go through it, or I will leave and I won't come back. But so here we go. It's not going to take me very long. It'll take me less than 5 minutes, I think. So I had gone on a trip this one time, and I had decided I used to be a competitive triathlete, and this is in the Lake Tahoe, Reno area. And we had a race on a Sunday, and I decided to go up on a Friday instead of what I normally did is that I would usually go up on a Saturday, and then I would stay the night, whatever was the local hotel near the race, and blah blah blah. So I decided I wanted to go camping. So I went up. And I went to Big Five Sporting Goods, got some stuff, bought a tent, this, and wasn't really a big camper, but I was a Boy Scout and a Cub Scout, and I had done a wilderness adventure, 23 days out in the middle in Colorado, with just your pack, and you take off and you can't come back, and you have to do checkpoints. So, I know how to use a compass, I know how to read maps, elevation, all that stuff. So I wasn't really worried. So I go out there, but I'm by myself. It's me and my bike, right? No dog, no nothing. Okay. And I find and I'm at one of the campgrounds, and I try to get the most. I drive out all the way out to the most remote spot because I'd had a long week and I wanted to meditate. And the race is a long race. It was 113-mile bike ride in and around the Tahoe area. It's a long ride, and I had some friends coming up and all that stuff. Anyway, so about 2 or 3 in the morning, all of a sudden I got really, really cold. Like, it was already cold, but all of a sudden I got really cold, which made no sense because I was in a backpack inside a tent. And I got out, went and took a piss, and I couldn't fall asleep. Like, I was like awake, which I shouldn't have been because I didn't go to sleep till about midnight. And, on something like this, like, sure, the sun comes up around 5 or 6, and I get up around then. I generally only need about 5 or 6 hours of sleep, but I always need more than 2 or 3. But I woke up as if I'd had like a bunch of coffee. And out of nowhere, I see way off on the right, like going between the trees around the tree line on the next hill over, I see something that's pulsating like green to, I'm not going to say white, but maybe a pearl white, green, light green, dark green, pearl white, light green, dark green. In fact, right now, as I'm looking out on my wall, I can almost see it again. And it was stationary, and then it started moving slowly, and then it took off and like made like a bit of a circle, a big wide kind of oval circle, and I could watch it up, and then it was gone. And I was like, what the effing fuck was that? Okay. And this is a long time ago. This is way before I did so much reading and jumped into UFOs. In fact, I'm going to probably credit this experience as to why in the last 10 and 20 years, I've read so much, watched so much, and gotten into this stuff, because I was not growing up as a kid. While I loved Star Trek and I loved Star Wars, to me, it was all just sci-fi, and I was never interested in anything paranormal, UFO related. All right. So about 20, 30 minutes go by, and all of a sudden I hear the biggest thumping sound that I could ever fucking imagine. And it was literally sounded like trees either were breaking or they were falling and hitting the side of a hill. Like you could tell, like
wow, like something's uprooting trees,
or walking through them, I couldn't
smashing them down on the ground,
or maybe like walking through branches and they're snapping off and they're falling, but they're not thin little branches; they're thick as fuck branches. And I could feel or sense. I couldn't see because it was so effing dark. I could see the trees around me a little bit. I run back to my tent, right? I'm about 15 yards away, so it's not a big run, right? It's like 5 or 6 steps, right? I go, what? And I'm looking for my fucking flashlight. I'm looking for my my little fucking Coleman gaslight thing, which I couldn't find, but I found a flashlight, and of course it's not very strong, powerful. And I'm looking. I can't really see much. All I can see are the trees, like maybe about 30, 40, 50 feet out. And then I hear something I hear a, and I'm like, and so I turn off my flashlight. I'm like, I mean, it wasn't a horse. Like in my head, I'm like, is that a horse that's breathing in, or
like a breath? Yes,
but it's definitely a breath, like a. And I instantly got this huge chill. I got this fucking feeling up my back of and I froze. I couldn't move, and I don't know why. I don't know if that was a fight or stand and flat. I don't know if it was a psychological response. I don't know if it was something that happened to me. But I literally
sound.
I'm just frozen. I heard the sound and I heard it again, like almost like a shaking type of thing, and it was fucking close, bro. Like it was like I'm surprised I can see whatever the fuck was making this noise, and I couldn't move, and I wanted to move, but I couldn't move. Like I was just like kind of just like oh fuck, what's gonna happen next? And I'm not behind a tree. I'm not like I'm like in the middle, in between a bunch of fucking trees on leaves, and the whole place, So I just froze. Then all of a sudden I heard real fast like
the Bionic Man.
Like scuttled, no, come on, bro. Like it's like someone scuttling away, but kind of leaves going away stuff. And then I heard it stop, and then I heard this huge, like this like bell. I can't recreate it. It was very low. It was like it was like almost like a roar thing. And look, I'm not saying
like a guttural roar.
Yeah, and so. I think there was a Sasquatch or Bigfoot because I don't fucking know what else it could have fucking been, because it felt like this thing was like 8 or 10 feet tall. Like when I heard that noise, like the breathing thing, I felt like it was like right in front of me, but I couldn't fucking see it. But I heard it and I felt it. Like I could feel the presence, and I could feel, I'm not saying I felt the breath on my face, but I sure as fuck felt the sound vibrations go through me, like literally through me, because they were that low and that loud, but I couldn't see it. Yeah. And that's why recently, now in the last few years, I'm started hearing about this interdimensional shit. Like I think it was there,
paranormal Bigfoot,
whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it freaked the shit out of me. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I started being so then a few minutes go by, 5 or 10 minutes go by. I go back and I sit in front of my tent. I find my little Coleman lighter thingy. I light the Coleman lighter thingy, and I'm just sitting there. and I couldn't go back to sleep, as you can imagine. And I'm listening. All of a sudden, I noticed that now I can hear fucking crickets and weird shit, little nighttime bug noises. I completely didn't notice that it was dead fucking silent during this whole time period that this had happened.
The Oz effect.
What's that?
The Oz effect is when all the animals and all of the insects stop and there's something paranormal.
Okay, well, they had stopped.
Generally Bigfoot oriented going on.
But all of a sudden it started, and then I noticed. I'm like, so I was like, wait, did I just notice that the sound is there? Or
it's called the Oz effect, yeah.
So then guess what I saw again? Way in the distance. That fucking green, pulsating, pearl white green light again. Way down, but it was further. It was twice as far away. It was right on top of the next hill, the next mountain, because the moon was strong enough that you could see kind of the tops of trees and the hills from away. But if you're in the trees, in the thick of it, you can't really see shit because they're, these things are like 30, 40 feet tall, right?
Yeah.
So, and then it was gone. It only lasted about 15, 20 seconds, and then poof, it was gone. I didn't see it streak away. I didn't see it go straight up. It was just.
Was it big enough, you think, that it could have been a flying saucer or a UFO?
Oh, dude, for sure. I'm not talking no little fucking 2-inch little orb. No, right. No, okay. Sirree, Bob. No.
Both times it was that big enough.
Dude, for sure. I mean, when I watched it circle around the hill that I was on, that fucker had to be at least 30, 40, 50 feet long. It had to have been.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
very
way.
often there are reports of both Bigfoot and UFOs or UAP or whatever you want to call it in the same area at the same time. And it's almost, I mean, this is a weird analogy. I don't exactly believe this, but it's almost like they bring them here and they let the dog go out for walkies,
No, this was no dog, bro.
No. It's not a dog, but it's like when they come, they bring those with them because otherwise we don't find any bones. There's hardly ever any traces other than a little scat or a little hair. We never find any bodies. The paranormal Bigfoot thing is very real. In fact, I'm sure you have heard about the army that's had trucks going from and to national forests and national parks with stairs in the back. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't know, dude. That shit freaks me out too.
That's pretty freaky.
I don't even know if I have an opinion on what happened to me. And I'm gonna tell you something. That is I've only told 4 people that story in my whole entire life.
Well, it's on the internet now.
Yeah. Well,
and thank you for sharing.
I did tell you at the last show that I would tell it, but I'm being cool about it now. I think because I'm not stressed during tax season, but I was really fucked up. It really fucked me up. I would have been
scared shitless.
It fucked me up. I ended up not being able to go to sleep. When the sun came up, I just packed all my shit.
Did you not do the triathlon?
Well, it was a training race for triathlon, so it was just a bike ride. On Sunday, it was just the 113-mile bike ride. But
that's all, just 113-mile.
I was in way good shape back then. But what I ended up doing is I got off that fucking. So when the sun came up, I packed up all my shit, got up off the fucking mountain. I drove into town, and I couldn't check into the. It was a Hilton Garden Inn. I couldn't check in there until they didn't have any rooms ready, so I just fucking stayed in the parking lot. That's it. In my minivan, I had a Nissan Quest minivan, white Nissan Quest minivan, and I just stayed in the fucking van and put the seat back, and I just.
There was no La Quinta Inn nearby.
That would cost more than a Hilton Garden Inn. The La Quintas are suites. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm not fancy like you, Cardinal Sin. I'm just
here. They're not that much.
Anyway, that's my story, and I get chills right now.
Me too, man. It's as Canadian Spider-Man says, it's an incredible story and sincere thanks for sharing, Mexican Iron Man.
And I got to tell you this much: the first time I saw the green light, I wear glasses, and a lot of times when you wear glasses, you'll see lights or reflections. Like sometimes, like the other day, I was just working on the computer and I looked left and I thought something went across the living room, but I realized it was just a reflection. That happens when you have eyeglasses. Well, So I sort of talked myself into believing that this is before the growling fucking creature showed up. I told myself, I said, well, maybe I'm just looking around and I just get a weird reflection, but it was pulsating. So when I saw it the second fucking time, I'm like, no, I'm not making this shit up. This shit's real. And I was just like, and I just, oh man, it was, oh God, oh. And by the way,
Galgo 13, aka Brandon the Infinite Wolf, says yes, that would be a life-altering experience. Holy cow.
I have never gone camping again. So when someone says, hey, you want to go camping? I said, okay, yeah. My idea of Mexican Iron Man going camping, yeah, that would be a Courtyard Marriott.
Right.
Yeah. And I will be entering whatever park we're going to fucking after 12 noon, and we will be departing before 3 or 4 fucking o'clock.
That's right.
We're not going in at dawn and leaving at fucking dusk.
Right after checkout.
No, we're not. And by the way, when the few times I have done that, I've required that there's 4 or 5 of us, because I ain't fucking gonna be a no David Politis story. That shit ain't happening.
Exactly.
I'm serious. And I'm being dead serious. I want to
take this opportunity to say hello to my good friend Lawrence Martin.
Hail.
Ugh. Hail.
I gotta run right now. I gotta run.
Okay.
So I only had an hour and a half for tonight. So
thank you for being here and telling the story. I think this is even better than having a guest. We usually have a guest, but sometimes we just talk about, what's going on. And I think that that satisfies a certain, group of fans that want people to discuss, the freaky shit. So thanks for helping discuss freaky shit.
Hey, thanks for surprising me and not letting me know it was coming. Good job, buddy.
Hey, I try.
And I like how you do it when my friends are here, like Golgo and PJ and Canadian Spider-Man. That was really awesome.
Yeah.
Oh God. All right, guys. Thanks for everything. I gotta run. And
thanks, Mexican Iron Man.
Hail, Red Walrus, TM NC52. Hail,
brother.
Bye, everybody. See you later, Love Shack.
All right. So it's just me, Cardinal Sin, and 6 says, I want to believe. Well, it's a good thing that you said that, because I am going to now tell you my personal story. So I've talked about a couple of my personal stories on this channel before, on this show before, and I'm going to do so again. But it's not one that I've shared previously. So I used to date a girl that was an abductee, according to her. I used to drive her into Kansas City twice a week so she could get her hypnotherapy, regressive hypnotherapy session, whatever. And she never told me anything about it. And that really pissed me off, because when she said that she was an abductee, I thought she was just trying to make me happy or please me because I was already into UFOs, putting on UFO lectures by that time, et cetera, et cetera. But so we are renting the basement apartment underneath the house that her mom owns. So just like if you've ever been in a basement, like an unfinished basement, the windows are like, you couldn't really get through them, but there's like either dirt up against them or there's like a little kind of a hemisphere, a semicircle. And so we're about to go to bed, and all of a sudden I hear a helicopter right outside the house. Chugga, 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 chugga. Really fucking loud. Didn't fade in, didn't fade out, just chugga, 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 chugga. And she starts talking. And I'm like, shh, please be quiet. I'm trying to listen to what this is. And she just won't stop talking. It's like she's got this auto switch where she has to talk and not let me listen to this bizarre phenomenon. So, again, it just stops. And another time, we were actually in bed, and I heard from outside the window heavy breathing, but not by a human. It sounded like a hellhound, you know. And again, didn't fade in, didn't fade out. Suddenly it was just there, just really low breathing, like a huge hound. And again, I was trying to hear it. I was trying to, like, what could this be? And she started talking, and I couldn't get her to shut up. I couldn't get her to stop talking. And something clicked in my brain at that point, and I realized I'm not supposed to hear this. She's supposed to distract me. And, even back then, it wasn't cool to do the, Gregory Peck thing and, slap a woman silly until she's quiet. Not that I would ever do that, but certainly that's not a cool thing to do. And it wasn't a cool thing to do. And hail, my good friend, Darius Munchausen. Live long and prosper, my friend. Good to see you. So, Six says, women talk a lot. Well, some of them do. So, I've had some bizarre helicopter experiences. And I think probably the one that's the most bizarre is I'm driving down 6th Street, which here in Lawrence, Kansas is one of the main drags. There's 6th Street, there's Massachusetts Street, and there's 23rd Street, and there's 9th Street. And that's pretty much the box that makes the, that's where the, police and ambulances and fire go, more or less. And, it's city has grown since then. So there's, it's a bigger box, but that's more or less the box. And I'm driving at 30 miles an hour, minding my own business. And I look over out the window and I see a helicopter, a white helicopter. It's pacing me. It's going exactly the same speed I am. It's like when you're, if you were ever a little kid and your parents, took you on a trip, and it was nighttime and you looked out and you saw the moon, was going the same speed you were, and you thought that it was following you. I don't know if that ever happened to anybody, but that happened to me. I guess I was a particularly stupid child. In any case, there's this white helicopter that's pacing me. It's going the same speed I am. I can see it through the trees, and it's above the houses, but sort of below the tree line. The only problem with this helicopter is it was flying backward, and it had no rotors. It didn't have any rotors on top, didn't have any rotors in back, and it was flying backward, pacing me. And so I'm like, what the actual fuck? Another time, I asked my mom, I had to come back from the Bay Area to take care of her when she got sick. Parallax, exactly. Thank you, Darius. So I had to come back from the Bay Area and take care of my mom. And I remember asking her one time if she'd ever heard or seen anything unusual, that could be paranormal. And she said, oh, sure. And I said, really? And she said, well, yeah. I heard a helicopter hovering right above the house. And I said, well, what time of day was this? And she said, 3:30 at night. And I said, for how long? And she said, 45 minutes. She didn't seem to think that was strange at all. a helicopter was hovering over the house for 45 minutes at 3:30 in the morning. Low enough that, chugga, chugga, chugga. So I guess weird helicopter activity runs in my family. Another strange experience that I had, the girlfriend that I was talking about earlier worked at a health food store called Wild Oats. And I was waiting for her to get off work, and they had this beautiful, just entire wall of pane glass windows from floor to ceiling. It used to be an office supply store before it was Wild Oats. And I'm looking out the window. And so the way that Lawrence is put together is, everyone thinks that Kansas is flat. Well, this part of Kansas is not flat. As a matter of fact, the University of Kansas is on a mountain. Well, it's a very, very small mountain. It's a big hill, but they call it Mount Oread. So you've got the Memorial Stadium where they play football, okay? And it's the lowest spot. And then everything from there sort of gets bigger, and then there's a street, and then there's a ridge, and then there's a street, and there's a ridge, and they kind of go up from there. So I'm looking out the window, and suddenly this helicopter just comes over the ridge, and it's looking directly at me, and it's just doing its helicopter thing. Looks right at me, comes up from behind the hill, looks right at me, probably stays there for, 30 seconds, long enough for me to go, what the hell? And then it goes back down below the ridge. There's no place a helicopter could land. There's no place a helicopter could take off from. I'm very familiar with that area. It's all apartments. There's just no way. And bizarre helicopter activity actually happens quite a bit in the abduction literature. If you're familiar with Carla Turner's books, all that kind of stuff, they are primarily, given a hard time by black helicopters. But there's always some kind of bizarre helicopter activity. And boy, I've had a lifetime. Good friend of mine, Keck44, howdy. Good to see you, sir. Glad that you're here, that you could make it. Red Walrus, as always. Live at the Love Shack. I must insist the question, how did you know the helicopter was flying backwards if it didn't have any rotors? Great question. Because there's, this egg-shaped part, and then there's the part that goes back, that's the tail. Okay. Then on the tail, there are these little rotors that prevent the helicopter from spinning out of control. Okay. They weren't there. There weren't any of those. And there weren't any on the top. It was just flying backward. And it was pacing me. It was going the same speed that I was. So, go figure. I don't know. They don't have any vertical takeoff and landing jets around here. There are no military bases, Air Force bases, anything like that. We don't have any Harriers in Kansas. It was just an unexplained phenomenon. But I'll do you one better. Ivan Ivanovich wants to know what year this was. This was in the 90s, probably like 1993, something like that. That's when all this weird stuff happened. So in 2020 or 2019, I believe it was 2019, I'm walking up to my, place here. I've got a bag of groceries in each hand, and, I've got my keys, and something catches my eye. It's nighttime, and I look up and I see what I think is a plane with an FAA light, like a white strobe, except it didn't strobe after that at all. So what I ended up seeing were two things that looked like planes, except they were far bigger than planes, and they didn't have any regulation lights on them, but they did have some kind of lights because I could see them. And they started from the south and they went toward the west, which took them eventually over the top of the building that I live in. The roof, obscured the vision. And I realized, if I had put my groceries down and gotten my phone out, they would have been gone. And if I'd gotten anything, it would have been a blurry picture anyway. So I just sat there and I absorbed the incident. And they flew like lovebirds in a very organic way, totally mechanical metal structures, but they would go toward each other and go within just a few degrees of each other, and then they would fly away again, and then they would fly toward each other, and then they would fly away again. And they did this in a way that went, like I said, from the south to the west, which ended up going over the roof. Now, if this had been done at an air show, it would never have been attempted, because they were so close to each other that, especially at nighttime, the chance of them running into each other was so great. I mean, if it had actually been airplanes, they would never have ever attempted it. I don't care if it was the Blue Angels. They just never would ever have attempted it. Plus, there are generally two types of sightings. There are sightings that are sightings that they don't really seem to notice the person that's doing the sighting, the viewer, if you will. Like humanoids that come down and take samples and dig, dirt or take water or whatever, and then go back and fly up. And then there's also displays, and displays are put on for some reason for our benefit. And it's like they want to be seen. In some cases, they want to be seen. And in other cases, you have to use infrared fucking FLIR to see these things. So when I started to think about it in retrospect later, the only thing I could think of was how absurd this sighting was, that I had seen something outrageous that had no business being over Lawrence, Kansas, and it was obviously something that was put on for my benefit. If you ask people that have seen UFOs, sometimes, like Mexican alien man was talking about, they look out the window of the plane and they happen to see, one of the things that we looked at earlier, some kind of craft. Some kind of structured craft. People have photographed these things from aircraft windows from the top. There are even Google Earth satellite images of flying saucers from the top. And Then other times you have to use infrared or ultraviolet, either goggles and headwear or some kind of radar to see these things. Either they want you to see them or they don't want to be seen. And while there might be something in between, it doesn't seem like it. From the sighting perspective, it seems like they either want you to see them or they don't want to be seen. And when they do want you to see them, it's pretty fucking weird. So let's see what we've got here. Ivan Ivanovich. So too early for it to have been a Notar helicopter. Well, I don't care what kind of helicopter it is. It better have rotors or it's going to fall. Live at the Love Shack. I'm pretty sure those are planes you're not supposed to know anything about. Don't worry unless you're a cow or a farmer. Right. And there are no light regulations for flying DeLoreans either. You are not meant to be able to see any ninjas by you either, Cardinal Sin. It's funny you mentioned that. I studied ninjutsu for years. I was the proverbial American ninja. I stopped taking ninjutsu because it was too violent. Then I started studying leopard paw kung fu, and it was a lot more violent than ninjutsu. We had to grab people's skulls by the eye sockets and under the chin, and then make them do whatever we wanted. So that was not for me. I just want to be able to defend myself and my loved ones, and maybe be a hero every once in a while and take a gun away from somebody, which I learned how to do back when I was a teenager. So we're talking about Notar helicopters that weren't around at the time. And Canadian Spider-Man does have a channel. And please subscribe to Canadian Spider-Man, who I presume will be here on Sunday for our big Cardinal Sin and Friends number 20, where we're going to talk about Captain Marvel being played by Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica and Another Life. That's right. Captain America is now Brie Larson free, and instead has your favorite Mandalorian actress, well, mine anyway, except for maybe Ming-Na Wen. But yeah, Katie Sackhoff is Captain Marvel. The trailer was great. It was amazing. I had a reason to want to see Captain Marvel, and I didn't see the first one, so I can just pretend it doesn't exist. In any case, please do be here for our Sunday Cardinal Sin and Friends show. It will be between 3 and 5 p.m. Central Time, and we usually go long. We usually go 6.5 hours, generally. And then we bump up against Gary and Doomcock, so that's kind of silly. I've considered starting my own drum jitsu school. We'll talk about that later. Yes, Katie Sackhoff, very cool. If you haven't seen the trailer, make sure you see it before Sunday when you come here to watch Cardinal Sin and Friends number 20. Okay, now we talked about having a giveaway, so we're going to do that now. Oh, good. Canadian Spider-Man has worked out his audio issues and he has time. You're welcome. I'm so glad. Actually, I don't know if Captain Marvel is going to be Brie free, but she wasn't in in the trailer. and Katie Sackhoff was. So, after all the things that Bree said about I love playing blah 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 regular people and so forth, maybe Kevin Feige just said, well, then go play regular people, you award-winning piece of shit. I don't know. The Canadian Lad and Canadian Spider-Man are on the same channel. The sane channel. Are they sane? I don't know. So, we have 12 people in the chat. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 12. And I've done so. For the prize of my copy of the 5th anniversary edition of James Fox's documentary, Out of the Blue, the 2-disc set with the feature and the special features, the full interviews and everything on the 2nd disc, please begin now to put a number into the chat, which will go next to your name. And we will use the next few minutes for you guys to do so. And the one that gets the number between 1 and 12, or closest to the number that I've picked, wins. And I will ship it anywhere in the world. So please begin now. Galgo, Darius, Lawrence, Canadian. I know we've got some other people in here. Yvonne, you've already chosen a number that's been chosen by Canadian Spider-Man. Okay, good. Live. Darius, you took my number. Well, Keck, pick another number. My good friend Garibaldi, my good friend Mr. Garibaldi. I've seen Babylon 5. I like Babylon 5. Ooh, man, I've got so many D&D dice. I'm all geeked out. I've got a Crown Royal bag filled with D&D dice. Okay. Darius, what's your number? Keck, what's your number? Okay. Keck, Darius, I know we've got some other people. Last call for alcohol. Last call for your freedom of speech. Ambassador Londo Molari's impersonation. Oh, Mr. Garibaldi, my good friend. He was really good. Peter Jurassic's an awesome actor. I love Peter Jurassic. 10, 8, and 7. I'm sorry, live, you may not choose more than one number. Just came in the mall. You got a mall delivered to you? No, not Peter Jurassic. He's one of the people that's still alive. Peter Jurassic. He played Londo Molari in Babylon 5. Okay, live at the Love Shack, just 10. Nice. Yes, Peter Jurassic. Okay, has everyone chosen their number? Do we have everyone? Now we have 11 people. Okay, so let's take a look. Nope. Okay, we're going to go ahead and call it time. And we have 2 people that are going to be in a runoff competition because my number was 3. And we have Darius Munchausen with 4. And we have Lawrence Martin with 2. So the 2 of you must now choose wisely. So Darius and Lawrence, this is between the 2 of you. Each of you pick a number between 1 and 10 and place it into the chat. And whoever is on the money or closest or receives my psychic transmission wins James Fox's Out of the Blue 5th anniversary set. One of the greatest UFO documentaries ever made. My number was 7. So once again, you guys are in a runoff. Okay, I'm going to make it a little harder. All right. Pick a number between 1 and 100. See, this is why we start a little early, because this tends to happen. 1 and 100. Lawrence and Darius. When I'm 64, bump, bump. All right. So we have 12 and we have 64. My number was 32. So who's closer? I believe Lawrence Martin is closer. If any of you math heads out there would like to contest that, I think 12 is closer to 32 than 64 by just a few. So, yes, Ivan Ivanovich, 12 is. Thank you. Almost picked 32. Lawrence wins. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Congratulations, Lawrence. My good friend, Lawrence Martin. Good friend. Oh, Mr. Garibaldi, have you met my good friend Lawrence Martin? He chose 12. He chose 12 and he won the box set. Whoop, whoop. Everybody give a woot for Lawrence Martin. So, yes, next time we'll use dice. Actually, there's a spinner, but it takes a really long time to type everything out, and I just I don't have time for that. So, besides, I have the psychic, emanations thing going. So, yes, thank you, Darius. Congratulations to Lawrence Martin. You're very welcome. Now, at this point, Lawrence, please send me your mailing address to this email address. call the Psycor. Gil@sunflower.com. Lawrence Martin, it is your duty to accept this mission. Send your mailing address to gil@sunflower.com. And then, because we are over 2 hours, this internet will explode in 5 seconds. And that's all we have for today. So thanks for playing. We have some wonderful parting gifts for you. This has been Inside the Fringe. I want to thank everybody for being here, everybody in the chat. A special thanks to Mexican Alien Iron Man. And I'm trying to figure out how to get out of my own way. There we go. And look at this brilliant new art for Into the Fringe. This is fantastic art that we're going to use all over the channel. And it's... I just think it's the coolest thing ever. It's going to be the new look of the Cardinal Sin channel. Now, I do want to let folks know we could make stickers. I did purchase the exclusive rights to this, so t-shirts, stickers, etc. could be made. I do want to, again, let everybody know that we are going to be having Cardinal Sin and Friends Sunday between 3 and 5 p.m. Central, and we usually go long. So if you're not available then please just come later. And never trust telepaths, even if they are naked betazoid women. So, Phone Box Chicken, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yes, it does look fantastic. Very well done. I really like it. And there's going to be more. So, do stay tuned and all that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your being here. Again, congratulations, Mr. Lawrence Martin. And make sure and send me your mailing address so I can get that out to you. It's Cardinal Sin, signing off.